Welcome everyone, I hope you're having a very wonderful day, and welcome to my guide for Black Bear for Silver Ridge Peaks. Before we begin, let me quickly break down how today's guide is going to work. So our first section is going to be covering all the Black Bear locations, and we're going to be using a single hotspot in today's video, and then we're going to move on to weapon recommendations, where I'm going to recommend 5 of my favorite weapons to hunt these guys with. And then we're going to end today's video with the animal profile, which will have a custom map, ammo chart, and time zones to make your hunt life 10 times easier. So let's get right into it by me opening up my map really quick, because we have some explaining here to do about these black bears. So black bears like to reside across the entirety of this map, which makes hunting them pretty difficult, as they're the only animal capable of doing so, other than the turkeys that reside across all the map as well. But we're here to talk about those black bears. Now, where are you going to find most of your black bears at, since they reside all across the map? Now, I've had most of my luck with the larger lakes because there's more area to cover on them, which makes it more reliable for zone spawns. So we're going to be checking out all those hotspot locations really quick. This big lake right here where my mouse is at is a pretty good location for black bear. Moving up, we have this big lake here in the complete center of the map, which can house quite a few black bears as well. But the real golden ticket is up in the northern section, where there is 4 lakes that are pretty large, which have quite a few black bears. I'm pretty sure each one of these lakes has between 3 to 4 zones for me. We have this one here on the right hand side. We have the one I'm at today. And then we have the one on the left here, and then we have another one on the very far left of the map. I do want to point out this lake right here does not typically get any animals at all. I have not had any other animals but black bear here, and we have 3 zones for those as well. So just want to keep that in mind when you're out there hunting. And we're going to get out of our map really quick so I could just show you guys this lake. Now, we do have a pretty low level male right behind those Rocky Mountain elk. Now, they do share the time zone with these guys, so just keep that in mind when you're out there hunting. So those zone times just do overlap. We should have roughly between 4 black bears here. I have a female down there, but I don't have her zone marked, which should be, yeah, she's like right over here, but I don't have that zone. But I have 3 confirmed black bear zones at this lake. We have that one right here on the right. We have this one here, and the one we just saw. And then we obviously have that female, which I'm probably going to spook here in just a moment. As we come down, there she is. But all these big lakes are pretty good locations. I should have between, we have one group there, we have another group there, then we have another group there. And we got more groups over here at these other lakes. So I just recommend checking these northern lakes out. These 4 at the top, they're pretty decent. And so that's going to pretty much do it for all the locations and hotspots we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to move on to the weapon recommendations. So I will see you guys back at the locker in just a moment. Alrighty folks, so here we are back at the locker. Before we begin, I'm going to quickly mention 3 things. First things first is I'm only going to be covering rifles, handguns, and shotguns. I'll not be covering bows because I'm not a bow expert, and I'll leave that to professionals. Secondly, these are just my personal recommendations and favorites. I always say go out there and explore and see what suits you and what you enjoy playing with. And then lastly, I'll be mentioning all the DLC these weapons come from in case you want to pick them up for yourself. So let's get right into it with our first rifle of the day. The 300 Mag Tactical is a very phenomenal rifle, and it's my number 1 when it comes to hunt black bear. It drops them immediately. Just a very accurate rifle, and you can play some pretty decent follow-up shots. You don't really need follow-up shots for black bear. You're only going to be hunting 1 at a time anyways, but this rifle does the job. It's very fun to use, and you can find it in the high caliber weapon pack DLC. Moving on to our second rifle of the day. We should see it here any moment. The Malmer Semi-Magnum is a very beautiful hunt rifle. It's up there with the 300 in my opinion. This thing covers classes 4 through 9. You have 3 rounds in there, and also insta-drops those black bear pretty easily. Very phenomenal, very accurate rifle that you can find in the Hunter Power Pack DLC. Moving on to our final rifle of the day. We have the LRR 338 here. This is the bolt action version with 5 rounds. It's very good. This is what I used before the 300 came out. It's a pretty decent rifle. I highly recommend picking this bad boy up. It also insta drops those black bears pretty good, and you can find it in the Hunter Power Pack as well. Moving on to handguns, we're going to be covering my favorite handgun of all times within this game. The 4570 Jernberg Spear is a very phenomenal pistol, and in my opinion, the best pistol in the game. Even though it's got that single shot in it, you could put a rifle scope on it, which makes it the pistol of all the pistols, in my opinion, because it just has that advantage of being able to zoom in all the way. So I highly recommend picking this bad boy up. It's very fun, very gimmicky, and you can find it in the high caliber weapon pack as well. Moving on to shotguns. This is probably my favorite shotgun when it comes to bear hunting. We're going to scroll down here and look for it really quick. we have the Strandberg 10 gauge. Now this is a very phenomenal 4-round semi-automatic 10 gauge shotgun. I recommend pumping some slugs in there and putting a pretty good hunting shotgun scope on it, and then just letting this bad boy rip on those black bears. It just does the job so well. It's very fun to use, and you can find this bad boy also in the high caliber weapon pack DLC. Highly recommend picking that weapon pack up. As you guys could probably tell, I pretty much listed the entire pack in today's video. All those weapons in there are just very phenomenal for taking out these higher class animals. So that'll pretty much do it for the weapon recommendations. So I will see you guys over at the animal profile in just a moment. Alrighty folks, so here we are at the end of today's video. Before I let you guys go, let me do a quick animal profile breakdown. So we have all of our basic black bear information on the left hand side, covering the class, difficulty, silver, gold, and diamond threshold range. We have our weight from kilograms to pounds from least to greatest. We also have the great ones information in there as well. Down below we have our fur types covering common, rare, very rare, and the great one fur types as well. Moving on to the center of the map, we pretty much covered all that today in the first part of today's video. And then in the top right, we have all of our time zones. And then below that, we have our ammo chart for those full integrity kills. That'll pretty much do it for today's video. I hope this guide helps you guys out. And if it does, please leave a like. It really helps out the channel. And with that out of the way, folks, I hope you guys have a very wonderful day. Happy hunting, good luck, and I will see you guys in the next one.